What is going on, my fellow zombie slayers? It is Nelly B here, and today do I have a throwback for you. That's right, we're bringing back ZWC, otherwise known as Zombies Weapon Compare. Hold up, I'm getting a call. The community knows it as what now? Yeah, no, that's not good. I have to change the name. Okay. Fine. What is going on, my fellow zombie slayers? It is Nelly B here, and welcome back to a brand new episode of UZWC, otherwise known as the Ultimate Zombies Weapon Comparisons. Better? In this series, I bring back an old video format and revitalize it for 2021 standards. We also put 2 or more weapons head to head for things like damage, ammo, availability, and longevity. In today's episode, we'll be comparing the Die Shockwave and its 4 variants to the k-84. Both formidable weapons in their own maps, but luckily for this video, both weapons can be acquired and used in the new mode Outbreak, so we can get an even closer look at how these 2 weapons stack up against each other. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with the Die Shockwave, as I'm making this video, the base variant of the weapon can only be found on the machine and the mode Outbreak. This weapon can be found in the box and through trials on every map it's available, but on the machine you have the option to craft it with the additional 4 different upgrades, which we will talk about later. Also, if you want to learn how to build any of these weapons, I'll leave a link to all the videos on these popping up in the top right hand corner throughout the video. Moving on, the base version of the Die Shockwave starts out with an ammo count of 60 with 2 different abilities. The first ability shoots a blue ball of energy reaching only a few feet. This is the default ability and will only use 15 ammo every time, meaning that in a max ammo Shockwave, you only have 4 shots. Each shot deals a damage of 15,000 damage. Now, 15,000 damage may seem like a lot, and it is, but trust me, this thing struggles to keep pace with most weapons once it reaches round 25. The reason it doesn't fall off so hard though is because of that second ability. With this ability, you can do up to 2,500 damage a second, and for every zombie killed, you gain 3 additional ammo. One of the great things about this ability is that it doesn't use ammo at all. It only creates it. On top of that, this ability shreds on insta-kills. However, you can only use this when you don't have any ammo in your reserves. Another main downside of this weapon is that both abilities don't reach very far, meaning the only way you're going to kill zombies with this is if they get close. Like within 10 feet close, leaving the door open for many close calls or even worse, the end of a game. Now personally, I'm not going to be focusing much on the variants of the Shockwave. Some of them are amazing, others not so much. However, going forward, we have to understand that you cannot upgrade the Shockwave in a game of Outbreak, whereas upgrading the K is as simple as pack punching. Literally. Sure, I'll mention this comparison at the end, but this video is intended to encompass all maps that both of these weapons are available on, so comparing these 2 are going to get a bit tricky. With that out of the way, let's continue. The 4 variants are as follows. The Die Nova 5 is one of my favorite variants, as a max ammo capacity of 90, and just like the base variant, every shot uses 15 ammo, making for only 6 shots per max ammo. Upon use, the Nova 5 shoots a small megaton-like effect onto an area and does 1500 damage every second. And just like every other variant, you also have that second ability that can kill enemies but also gives you ammo. Next up, the Die Thermophasic. Essentially, this is the same as the base variant with a little bit more damage and ammo. With this, you have 100 ammo in reserves, but instead of using 15 ammo per shot, you now only use 10, giving you 10 shots in total. This, along with the next one we'll talk about, don't really have any use outside of simply being weapons that make their own ammo. Even then, you can just buy ammo now, so I really don't have a case for this one. The Die Cryo Emitter is the ice upgrade of the Die Shockwave. You start out with 120 ammo, and instead of a regular single shot like the previous variants I've mentioned, this one shoots a stream of ice that does 2,000 damage every second. This effect does slow down zombies and is actually pretty effective against the Megaton. However, it's very slow to activate and doesn't affect nearly as many zombies as I'd like it to. So unfortunately, this one isn't really worth going on much longer about. It's pretty cool though. The final Shockwave variant we will discuss is the Electrobolt. Now, similar to the cryometer we just talked about, this weapon's ability works as a stream, but instead of a stream of ice, it's a stream of electricity. Now, this variant does have the most ammo with exactly 400, but it only does 1,000 damage per tick. Now, I know I said this ice one was bad, but for some reason, this one just seems to kill them faster. I like to take this one into the boss fight with me whenever I can because it seems like it kills the Megatons the fastest. I could be wrong or mesmerized by the electricity, but I really do like this variant. All of these variants can be gotten with varying degrees of difficulty. Obviously, the Shockwave is the easiest thing as you have multiple ways of getting it on multiple maps, with the earliest being around 12 to 13 on D Machine or 3 to 4 on Outbreak. The mobility of all these weapons are the same. You're not fast, but you're not slow either. Thinking of running with these as sort of a leisurely morning jog, if you're into those kind of things. The longevity of the Shockwave itself is pretty non-existent. Like I said before, round 25 is around when this thing really starts to take a while to kill zombies, but with that secondary ability, you can kill any zombies with the right amount of time. The best example of longevity from the variants of these weapons is represented by the Nova 5. You can literally just sit in a corner, spamming left and right triggers along with a ring of fire, pretty much forever. All in all, the Shockwave is a well-balanced base variant wonder weapon, and the Nova 5 is pretty overpowered in the right circumstances. Moving on to the k-84, this weapon was introduced in Firebase Z back in February of 2021. This weapon can be acquired many ways, but the easiest in my opinion are through the trials on Firebase Z or the box on Outbreak. In most games, this weapon can be gotten before round 12 or 13 on Firebase Z, but in Outbreak, it takes up until like round 10, and if you've played Outbreak till round 10, you know that takes quite a while, so yeah, just think about that. This weapon has two forms of ammo. The first is a fully auto ray gun Mark II type of weapon, and the second is a ball of energy that does low damage but does slow down enemies. Each one of these is going to cost you 10 ammo. However, the Raike has the ability to do massive explosive damage if you shoot the ball of energy with the automatic ammo type. This base weapon is only good up until about round 25, then it starts to fall off heavy. Now, when you pack punch the k-84, it becomes the Discordian Disruptor, and it now has 50 ammo in the mag and 300 in reserves. And the only damage upgrade that you get every time you pack a punch is an upgrade to the automatic damage. It will still benefit from a triple pack a punch, however it's not as noticeable unless you're looking for it. Now, personally, it's the Raike that comes out on top for me. It's better in almost every single way, at least on their respective maps. It does more damage, it's easy if not easier to get and upgrade, it handles faster, it has more versatility when dealing with elites on Firebase Z than the Shockwave ever has on D Machine, and let's just face it, it's a ray gun. Who doesn't like the new ray guns? However, one distinction I need to make is that I have gotten to round 100 before on D Machine and probably could just as easily do it today, and that's of course thanks to the Nova 5 Shockwave. This thing just puts out essentially infinite amount of damage, and with Ring of Fire, it's literally like setting up a camp around a fire and just chilling until you're ready to leave. So I don't know, this is where the conflict comes in. The Nova 5 Shockwave is great compared to the Raike, but the Raike is amazing compared to the base variant of the Die Shockwave, which again, both can be found on Outbreak, and when it comes down to it, if you're playing Outbreak, you're going to want to go with the Raike, just simply because you can upgrade that Die Shockwave. Now, I'm sure if I focused and kept going for it, a Firebase Z round 100 would be reasonable for me. I mean, so many others have used the same strategy as me, just better, so round 100 plus is definitely possible with the Raike. Unfortunately for me, it comes down to how easily or fast the game can get, and the Nova 5 Shockwave on Die Machine is like no other. So I'm going to give this one to the Shockwave, but Outbreak is a whole other story as we've already talked about. I should mention that yes, I do know you can't get the Raike and the ray gun in Outbreak at the same time. However, the versatility of this weapon, especially considering the objectives in the game, the Raike is a no-brainer. Anyways guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know down in the comments how reasonable or stupid I am for sharing my opinion on the internet. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a comment down below on what two weapons you want to see go head to head next. Whereas I am willing to go back just about any zombies game, you must know that I've been doing this series for a little while, and upon uploading this video, I will be making a playlist for this series. So check the titles out on those to make sure it's something I haven't done before. Oh, yeah, and subscribe and all that stuff. We're almost at 300, so that's pretty great. You guys are amazing for that. But yeah, stay safe, wear a mask, and peace.